Morning guys, Mike here from Charlie Crossing Heating and Cooling. Just want to do a quick video on a water heater flush and checking the anode rod. So this water heater here has been in since 2013, so it's about 11 years old. Had a couple repairs done to it. So I drained some water out. Unfortunately, I forgot to take a picture, but I did have quite a bit of sand in the bottom of my bucket here. So usually what I do is I shut the cold and hot feed off, let some water drain out and into the bucket, and then I do that a couple times, and then I'll turn the water on by the valves, turn it back off, and I'll do that a couple times, and I turn the water back on. I don't like to go crazy and drain the whole thing down, because then I've had times where it'll pull up stuff through the faucets for the next couple of days. Doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does. So right now I'm going to pull the anode rod, which is down in this little hole here. Hopefully I can get a shot of it. They're usually in the top of the water heater 99% of the time. It is a I don't know if you can see that, 1 1/16" deep socket I use, and use a good size 1/2" wrench to get that out. So let's see if I can, if this will come loose. Some of these are next to impossible to get out. So let's see how this one goes. So fortunately, this one I already kind of cracked it. So drop it in, make sure it's seated good, because you're going to put some of these, you're going to end up putting a lot of force on. So this one isn't bad. I changed this one about a few years ago, but I figured I was starting to get a little bit of a rotten egg smell in my hot water. That's usually a good indication to check it. Let's see if I can grab it. There it is. As you can see, she's pretty worn. So this is some of the stuff that you'll find in the bottom of the tank. So it's not the worst one I've seen, not the best one either, but we're going to change it anyways because it's kind of looking a little ratty, and you will get some odor in the water and stuff like that. So I'm going to change this and see how it goes. So one thing you'll notice on these anode rods is the one on the right is brand new. The one on the left is the old nasty one. So you see these breaks in the anode rod? That's so that when you replace them or take them out, that's meant to bend there, because if you see, not a lot of room on top of the water heater. And if you got a straight anode rod that didn't have the breaks in it, it would be near impossible to get that in the water heater. So you bend it, drop it in, bend the next one, drop it in, and then it kind of goes in straight that way. So that's the difference between a brand new one and an old crusty one. You can get higher quality anode rods that are, I think, magnesium, but I could be wrong, that will last a little longer. This water heater I'm probably changing in the next couple years. Anyways, we're on public water here, so the water's pretty good. Sometimes you can get sand in the water heater from if you have a water main break. They reapply water pressure after they make the repair, and you can get a little bit of sand that way. Sometimes the particles are from the anode rod breaking down. It just depends. So let's swap this out and see how it goes. Get some Teflon tape and some pipe dope. Any water fitting that's threaded in, you really should be using pipe dope and Teflon tape. This tape, theoretically, they say you don't need pipe dope with, but I like to use it anyways. So you don't have to go crazy. Just a couple of wraps. Make sure they're on there good. Try not to cover the threads here, so that you get a good bite with your socket when you are tightening it back in. So you want to just pull this down if you have this happen to you. This pipe dope is cold because it's freezing out today. So you don't need a lot. You don't need to paint it on there, but you just want a nice even coverage. Try not to get this on your skin. Normally when I'm doing this professionally, I'm wearing rubber gloves, but this is for a family member, so just take care of it for them. All right, so that's all set. This we're just going to throw out. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's try to get this thing in there without too much fuss. So you'll see we're going to bend that. Get that to drop in, and kind of straighten it if you can, as much as you can, and then continue. Drop it in. That's it, like that. Again, take our 1/16" socket. I like to start it hand tight just to make sure we got no cross threads, and should go in nice and easy. You want this in there good and tight. You don't have to crush it, but you also don't want it to leak outside of the threads. So that's it down in there. Alright, so now we're going to apply water pressure on the cold side. Make sure nothing comes out of there. I like to apply a little bit of pressure and listen for any whistling. See if that helps. Now I have the hot side off too, so that make sure I can build pressure in the tank. Also keep in mind that if this is an electric water heater, you should shut the breaker off when you do this, and if it's a gas water heater, you should shut the gas off when you do this. I recommend if you have a gas water heater, it's good to have a professional do that for safety reasons. Currently, everything looks good and dry. So what I'll do is probably check on that in like an hour or so and see how that goes. So I got the hose off. I had to use a wash machine hose in a bucket. You can use a garden hose, run it outside, but it's like very cold out today. Good idea to get these brass caps. You can get them at Home Depot or wherever. Make sure they got a gasket in them. It's always good to cap these drains. If they were to leak at all, it's just a good idea. And then be careful turning on. Don't cross thread those, because this particular water heater has plastic threads. So we want to make sure that we don't cross thread those. Make sure nothing is leaking. Like I said, I'm probably going to replace this thing in a couple years, if not sooner. What I'm probably going to do is a heat pump water heater. We've been doing a lot of that for my company. They've worked out really well. We've got automatic water shutoffs. We've got some videos on those, or I believe we're making some videos on those, but they're pretty cool. So don't forget to check out those videos and see the advantage of a heat pump water heater. This is a small example of some of the sand after I did another flush. The first time was at least twice the amount of sand, but you can see it's literal sand in the bucket. So it's good to do this once a year on your water heater. So I just checked the anode again. Everything's dry. Looks good. And any tools we use, I'll put a link in the description of the video, so that if you're looking to do this on your own, you know what tools to get and what size to get, and make it a little bit easier. So I appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Again, I'll post a link in the description for the wrench, the socket, and anything else that would help you get this done. Again, it's Mike from Charlie Crossing Heating and Cooling. Thanks for watching the video. Feel free to check out our website and Facebook page, and keep in touch with us. Thanks. Have a great day.